thought it'd be really fun to play some drawing games with some local Melbourne-based comic book artists. Starting up, we've got Fake Artist Goes to New York, where each player is drawing a picture with just one line at a time, but one person doesn't know what they're drawing. Rather than just drawing on a little pad that comes in this game, we're going to do it on an easel. So if I'm getting comic book artists down there, I want to see their work. Speaking of, here is our very talented guest. Dean, can you kick us off and tell us a little bit about yourself?
So hi, my name is Dean Rankine. I'm a comic book artist from here in Melbourne. I've worked on The Simpsons, Futurama, Rick and Morty, Oggy and the Cockroaches, and more.
Jess?
My name is Jess. I'm a comic book writer and illustrator from Melbourne. I self-publish, I put my stuff online, and I'm also an animator as well.
Excellent. Henry?
Hi, my name is Henry. I draw comics as well. I've done a comic book called The List, which was a graphic novel that me, myself, Paul, and Tom also produced as well. And I'm currently working on a cyberpunk graphic novel.
Tom?
I'm Tom. I am also a writer and artist, and I help organise the Melbourne Comics monthly creator meetups, and I run a daily cartoon called Mini Tom about myself.
We're going to play this game. We've got a number of clues to give out, and then we'll get so 4 of us will have the exact word that we're drawing. We'll have Louis, one of our volunteers, will tell us the category that it's in, but one person is flying blind. Dean's going to kick us off. And Louis, what is our category?
Your category is something you wear.
Okay.
Oh, we're all just sabotaging this now, aren't we?
Yeah, this is the thing of like, do you try to correct or do you try to go with it?
We've all had to salvage pages before.
Okay,
Nobody saw what I was doing there?
yeah, but then I went with the stronger line. Because I guess one thing about comic book illustration is you don't really have a chance to sort of like, oh no, this is what it is and this is the context.
Yeah.
The page has to speak for itself.
Oh, I thought Jess was,
Yeah.
but now I'm not so sure. Now she. Thank you.
So I think that is all of us having 2 goes. We're now going to, j'accuse.
Yeah.
So
I'm ready to accuse.
Yep. Okay, so I think we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. About yourself. Well, Jess, you have 3 votes. Are you the fake artist? Yeah. Do you know what it is now?
I know, I'm like, I thought it was a shirt. I'm like, a shirt?
That's the thing, because like, I figured, I drew the weird line,
Because I'm like,
and then I did the shoelaces.
I thought it
I'm
was
like, if
a
she gets
shoebox.
this,
I thought it was a shoebox, and then I was like, but then I didn't know what Tom did, and I'm like, well, now I'm thrown. And then when you did shoelace, I'm like, it's a shoe. And I thought that was like a loop that
I'm
you
like,
drew.
if she gets this,
Like,
I know.
Good try. Under the circumstances of it.
But I know it's a shoe.
It is a shoe, yes.
Well done,
We
everyone.
work what out as a fake artist. We're going to do one more round.
Your category is animal.
Okay. And Henry's kicking us off this time. Drop in here.
Fake.
It's funny, in the practice game, that was your MO, just immediately accuse everyone.
Fake.
Just want him to choke. I don't know.
What's that?
Resisting. It's got springs.
I really want to get tea.
Oh, sorry, go behind. Has everyone gone twice?
Is that it? That's it. It's I took it off the rails. I admit that. Only because it was going too far in the obvious.
I really wanted to give it teeth when you drew that.
Yeah.
Do we accuse? Is
You
that
can
what
accuse, yep.
Choosing.
So in 3, 2, 1. So what have we got?
Yeah.
Jess, who are you
Me?
pointing at?
Yeah.
That's so that's
Both of you and
2,
me?
2,
Yeah.
1.
You tried this time, which means you're probably fake. Like, you tried to make it look
I
like
tried
the thing.
so hard. It's not me.
So that means the other 2 were right.
I
I still have no idea. Like, is it a duck with like an angry butthole? Like,
It's supposed to be a bird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so what? As in like, oh, shitting there. Yep.
It's an egg. I thought it was an egg. I thought that was
Oh,
someone
it was
doing
more of a-
anything.
What was
It's
that?
abstract. It can be interpreted either way. So it could be a teardrop, which signifies poo.
Like,
or,
I thought he's killed somebody before. That's why he gets like a teardrop. No.
oh yeah, that's it.
A
You
bit
know.
random. Okay.
It could be. You know, that could be their
give teeth
arm,
now.
if we
I
extended
want.
it out.
Well, yeah.
Well, that is Fake Artist Goes to New York. That's us playing a
Yeah,
3 round.
good
You get a
job,
good
good job.
example. Thank you for joining us and showing off your artistic skills. I promise, having consumed all of these people's work, they are actually very talented artists, despite what this may be.
Don't judge us on this. Is what we're saying. Don't judge us on this.
So I've got Tom, Dean, Jess and Henry here with me. We've just played a game and I thought we'd have a bit of a chat before we play another game. So you've all created some great sort of comic and illustration work. Can I ask, in Australia, is it possible to make a living doing that sort of thing? Who here has their primary sort of income, you don't need to say the amount, but primary income comes from illustration or comic work?
Yes, it's kind of that is possible, but it's extremely hard. Like, you know, at the start of the show, I'll talk about like my credits, which is like on paper, okay, pretty bloody impressive, but financially it's still nightmarish. And like my wife works, so I have a 12-hour-a-week job, but it's only now, so I'm in my early 50s, that I feel like I'm starting to make some headway, and that's brutal. So I don't think we really sort of talk about that much, you know, and also that we don't talk about that if it's not our primary income, that's okay. I would probably, speaking for everyone at the table, this is something that we love, and we know it's hard, but we do it anyway. You know, sometimes I don't know about you guys, and I feel like I don't really have a choice. It's like I'm everything in my
Compelled
being is
do it.
made to do this.
It's a passion, and we would all love to do it for a full-time thing. I'm sure some of us are at other gigs wishing we were drawing a lot of the time. And some people will go down that path and they'll find, oh, this is something I can actually monetize and everything else. And some people will find, no, I can't. And either path is fine. There are lots of valid paths to be a cartoonist and go down.
Yeah, I'm freelancing at the moment, so I'm doing illustration work for other people and animation work for other people, but that's to help fund, because as a writer-artist, like you have to fund your own, it's just you, so you don't have someone paying you to work on your own stuff. And there's like, at the moment I'm working on pitches to get published for the first time, so that's like a journey to kind of go on, but you have to make that time for yourself and support yourself somehow to be able to do that, so yeah.
Henry?
Yeah, for myself, I work full-time, so I am sort of struggling to find my footing to try to, at some point, be a full-time comic book artist, but you have to write everything yourself, you have to draw everything yourself. There are ways to do that. There are platforms online like Kickstarter and Patreon where you could potentially sort of become more of a full-time artist. However, if you are sort of like making comics, it's very time intensive. It's not the same as doing single illustrations, and a lot of the time, I'm sure like you guys might agree that you want your creative freedom to be able to sort of like write and draw what you'd like, but also how you'd like to present it as well. And just doing comics in general is a very time intensive sort of labor.
You talked about some of your credits, and some of that is sort of as an artist for hire. For you might be doing a couple of pages, or you might be doing a full issue of a comic or an illustrated book. How have you found that process of jumping into someone else's world and trying to make your mark on it, or even trying to stay within their sort of style guide, so to speak?
So I recently just did a Rick and Morty comic, 26 pages, and which was great, and that was a really positive experience because I liked the script. So you kind of like, you're trying to be on model to make it look like Rick and Morty. If someone picks up a Rick and Morty comic, they want to look like Rick and Morty. But yeah, I actually found that a really positive experience because yeah, again, I thought the script was really good. I liked the IP. It's different than doing your own stuff, obviously, and I just try to remember and remind myself that it's not necessarily about me, but trying to find the most important elements of the story to like, okay, so here's the story is key, and my illustrations should be reflecting the story to make that the best, to make that the best story I can. So it's less about, okay, well, maybe less about doing a splashy illustration and more about, okay, this, I should be drawing this because this emphasizes that part of the story. Do you know what I mean by that? Yeah.
So Jess, if you're working with somebody else, do you think then when you go back to doing your creative projects, do you think you've learned something, or you've sort of seen a different way to tell stories or communicate ideas?
Yeah, I think like oftentimes, like I've collaborated with writers a couple of times, and it's sometimes it's covering subject matters and framing things in a way that I wouldn't naturally frame them. And like Dean said, I normally take myself out of it as like I'm helping somebody else make what they want, sort of a thing. So I'm providing a service. That's kind of how I look at it. So yeah, so it's creatively collaborating, but mainly making their creative vision come true, kind of a thing. So yeah, and it forces me to do things because it's not my creative vision that I wouldn't normally do, and that shores up areas that might have been weaker, kind of a thing. So yeah.
Tom, I'm going to throw you with a personal example. So I wrote a couple of scripts that you then illustrated. When I got them back, I was like, holy shit, you've taken what I did and you've really elevated it. And that's, I've a number of artists I've worked with, I think all of them, I've really noticed that of like, for me, it's like, oh, I get to see it come to life in a way that I wouldn't be able to execute, and the ideas and framing have done. Do you find that, how does that compare to when you're doing Mini Tom or your own graphic novels?
It's very easy to get inside your own head when you're the writer and artist on your book, and it's at a certain point that a lot of elements you haven't considered seem really alien to you. And so there's actually a lot of growth to be had in collaborating. I think that when I was working on Pages for You, I was drawing things I hadn't considered drawing before. I was being pushed out of my comfort zone, and I was looking at imagery and research, and even just the way that I drew pages in such a different way. I think I grew a lot, and I think I think we actually had a legitimate collaboration on that project, because it wasn't just, here's script, go do. It was, what do you think about this? Hitting back and forth about points, trying to find the best way that we can tell your story. And that sort of communication, that's something you need in all streams of life, to actually point out something in a way that's constructive, in a way that gets a really nice job finished.
There is a lot of sort of mediums where there is a sort of collaborative, film and television is one, but that can also get to hundreds of people, where comic books can go from like 1 to maybe 5 people are really working on the project, and you can sort of really see the fingerprints of each of those different people as they're adding and adapting and interpreting the work or the ideas. And I think that's something that's really great to see and really great about the medium. Maybe we should take a break from this discussion and play a game called Telestrations. Now, I love a good game of Telestrations, which is sort of a fun drawing game where you try to interpret what people have drawn and continue the chain along. But rather than use these little pads with our guest today, I've decided to do A4 sketch pads, because I'm joined by some of Melbourne's finest illustrators and comic book artists. Thank you all for coming down and drawing. We've all written our clue on here, so we're going to pass it over and we're going to start playing the game. So we're all going to see a word, and then we're going to draw. I'm going to just take the drawing out that Henry did, which is very accurate, but not what the game is supposed to be doing at the end.
Okay, so...
And we are away. There's always a deadline. And ideally, we're not doing any words or numbers in our drawing. I think immediately I've done not a great job. So I think that's going to be fun for Dean and Tom to inherit. And time is up. So we stay on the drawing page. Actually, flip it over just so we don't see any of the words. So drawings face up, but we don't see the words on the back, and then pass it over. Yep, so like that. So we have a little bit of time to try and guess what the drawing is. And once you've done that, we'll pass it over, and then we're going to be drawing what that phrase is.
Good to go?
Everyone ready?
Yep.
Ooh. Oh. Okay, and away we go. So how close do you reckon everyone's going to be to the other people's ideas of the whatever the phrase is? Think we'll all sort of be able to visually tell what it is, or?
No.
No.
Thinking no.
Usually we've got like 2 or 3 weeks, months to draw something from a script. Sometimes.
Do we?
Yeah.
Wow, we got more time than me.
Sometimes I just draw the script before I write the script.
And time is out. So we're past that along, no more Dean. And I think this is the final guess that we're all doing.
Oh, so are we drawing a...
No, so now,
we're
now we're just
guessing.
guessing. I think that we're handing it back to the person.
Oh my gosh.
I think the funnest part of this game is not necessarily the stress of drawing or the trying is when you then take it all the way back and go, it started with this and this is what it ended up. So I think that's yours.
Hope so.
Do you want me to kick us off of our journey?
I think so,
Yes,
yeah,
please.
you go for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, puppet show. And we got, what?
Very
I
elaborate.
think that is, yeah, quite elaborate. I think that's very puppets. Yep, okay.
Yep.
And then we got puppets was a guess. I think that's pretty close. So I think we can call that call that
That's a win, yeah.
Dean, you want to take us through our journey of your work?
So I had rabbit ears.
Yep.
And I thought about doing like the rabbit ears from a TV, but I really wasn't, you know, but I'm glad people this happened. Nice, rabbit ears, yes.
Yep.
Bunny ears, yep. Great.
Nice.
Yeah, eh?
Yep.
That's a win in my book.
And then so the final.
And the final one was bunny ears.
Yep. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Tom, can you kick us off with how yours went?
So it was rocket ship,
Yep. And can you show us as well, just so we can? Yep. Yep.
rocket ship,
Yep. There you go.
Oh, nice.
rocket,
Yep.
yep,
I kept adding lines to this. I'm like, I'm just making it.
Is this an eye? Wasn't
Yeah, you see, I see. Then
Could
I
be
was
a-
see,
could be a
I-
firecracker.
There was still time, and I kept adding to it, and I didn't need to.
Yeah,
rocket.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
Okay.
The tyranny of too much time is the 8 things.
So I had magician.
Yep.
I started to draw it and made a big. Anyway,
Yeah,
moving on that.
Oh.
Yep.
Lovely magician.
Yeah.
Stage magic.
Yep.
Magician. We're back.
Yep. So there you go.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Henry, your final one.
Alrighty. And what do we have? We have gas can.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, see, this is the thing.
This is
Henry
the
had
thing.
drawn it, and he had drawn it better than what I ended up doing.
I was thinking gas
and
can,
so-
I wasn't sure.
So this is my drawing, which is not good.
It's dripping.
And
It's-
that was the original one that was better than what I did.
No, I had to have a guess about the what was inside it.
Yeah. Oh, so is it?
I was going juice.
Oh, you actually, somebody wrote the actual contents.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went,
petrol,
I
okay,
went,
yep.
I went with petrol. I thought it was petrol,
Yep.
so this could go
Well-
off the rails now.
And somebody actually knows what a gas can actually
It
looks
looks
like.
like, hey!
It's pretty accurate.
Yeah. Have a go on the person who's not an artist. Yeah.
No, I drew exactly the same thing.
Yours is
yeah.
better than mine.
Oh, mine's antiquated. It's like from Donald Duck era. This one is actually a modern gas can.
Yeah.
And then the final guess, I'm assuming we got there.
Gas can.
There you go.
Nice. I like how it like, went off the rails with me, but it brought it back. let's try this bit better, you know?
This is certainly a game because it can go up higher. Is when you have so you've had 6 people, you need to go 3 drawings.
Yeah.
So it does add for more, but you do start to see how do people interpret the different words and how does it go around.
Yeah.
And you do sort of see some very nice drawings. Yeah. So. Thank you all for coming down and playing some drawing games with me tonight at RMIT, and also chatting a little bit about yourselves and your work. As we finish the show, can you just tell us where people can find you and your stuff if they want to search for it?
Yeah, so my name is Dean Rankine, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Tom Tung. I'm on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Jess Kitty Parker on Instagram and at jesskittyparker.com.
I'm Henry Pop, and I'm on Instagram at HHernanPop.
Keep playing board games and keep reading comics.
Cheers.